Alright, today I'm going to be talking about a new horror film that is called Immaculate. This film, there is a nun that travels to this monastery in Italy, and in there she finds something that is very, very strange about this monastery, but the film doesn't really tell you that. But you are seeing some strange things in here that is happening right before your eyes. And the strangest thing that she is experiencing in this monastery is her unexpected pregnancy. And this pregnancy will potentially lead to the birth of the new savior, if you may call it. That is basically the plot of this film. Now, the film has been marketed as a regular supernatural horror film, but if you have seen the film, it's not really a supernatural horror, but it is more leaning towards the atmospherical thriller that is the genre of this film. Because if you have seen the film, you know that this film doesn't rely too much on jump scares or something that is terrifying that happens rapidly, characters getting killed. It doesn't rely very much on that, and I think it helps the film to really find the tone perfectly. And the approach, the genre that they found here is really great for a film like this. But that disrupts the pacing of the story, because this is not a supernatural horror, this is an atmospheric thriller. So the story kind of starts slow, particularly in the first act. Because that is the first act, I still can forgive the film for doing that. You know, it has to introduce this monastery, how it works, it has to introduce the characters, and our main character here is played by Sydney Sweeney, and I thought she was really good in this role, because as an audience, you see this character progress, you know, finding something that is really, really terrifying or disturbing overall. And you, as an audience, care for her because of Sydney Sweeney's performance. Because if you see Sydney in this film, her character is really not understanding everything that's going on here. And you, as an audience, you also feel the ambiguity of the story. Now, as I said before, this deals with the pacing. The first act is kind of slow, and it is understandable. But when you get into the second act, you begin to wonder what is really going on in this monastery. And it doesn't get revealed to you. There is a lack of payoffs here. The setup is great. The setup is very atmospheric. You know that something is not right in this monastery, but you didn't get the kind of a payoff that you want, even in the third act. And in the third act, you didn't really get the payoff. The intensity is not there. The suspense, even though it is built from subtle details, but ultimately you didn't get the payoff that you wanted. And when the baby is born, you really didn't see the baby. What it looked like, is it a true savior or it is something else? You really didn't see that. And I get the point of that. It tries to leave an imagination for the audience. But the problem is, throughout the film, there is no payoff. Not even one. You just following this nun, discovering these clues, but overall, there is no satisfying conclusion. What are they hiding? You really found it towards the end of the film, but it felt really rushed. You know, the climax is really rushed. You know, so I think the biggest problem that this film has is on the pacing. It relies heavily on the atmospheric tone, and I get it. As I said before, there is no satisfying payoff, but the performance here are really great, especially Sydney Sweeney as a nun, you follow her journeys. Her character carries the audience, but as I said before, there is no satisfying payoff. And the baby, let's talk about the last scene of this film. The last scene of this film is very ambiguous because it doesn't show what she's giving birth to. Is it a normal baby? Is it a demon baby? You don't know. So, as I said before, it's ambiguous. So, at the end of the day, this is still a very good film. The atmospheric tone works very well. The performances work. But if you are here expecting intensity, jump scares, those elements are not here. And I'm gonna give this film a 6 out of 10. So if you have seen Immaculate, tell me what you think. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And what do you think about the baby scene, the last scene that is in the film? Is it ambiguous? Is it a demon baby? Is it a normal baby? Tell me everything in the comments down below and see you on the next video.